Hello everyone, welcome back. I'm Joshua and this is Rooftop. In today's workshop, we'll be making a leaf painting, but not just any type of leaf painting. We're gonna be painting a leaf per se, but we will be using an impression of leaves, or impressions you could say, to get this very nice in-depth kind of effect. It might sound a bit confusing, but let me start and show you how we go about it. Okay, so I have my sheet of paper here, and what I'm going to do first is, so along with the paper I have some leaves as well, just in case some of them get a little too much of acrylic paint and then it can solidify. So just in case, I bought a good bunch of them. I have my palette. So first what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover this entire sheet of paper with a very dark color. So I will take some blue, and I have two types of blue actually. One is phthalo turquoise and one is Prussian blue. So I'm going to mix them both up. It's not necessary, but I will be using these two colors as well. Okay. And then I'm going to take a pretty big brush for this. So I'll just dip this in the water, remove the brushes that I'm not using. It's best you only keep the materials that you are going to use. Okay, so I'll remove a bit of this water. Okay, and then I'm going to mix my, let me flip this over. I have both the blues here. I'm going to mix them up nicely. Now it is still going to remain blue, but when I lighten them up, we will get a different color entirely. So just mix it up, and then I'm going to start painting this entirely blue. And you want to keep it thick. We don't want to keep it like this. We want the paint to be thick. So I'll just put this paint down. I'm going to paint it entirely dark. I'll just add a little bit of water here so I can spread it easily. And you want to cover each and every corner and edge for this. I think this is the first time I can smell the acrylic paint so potent. Because normally acrylics, they don't have such a strong smell, but I think the fact that I'm applying so much and I'm spreading it out is the reason why I'm getting, quite a bit of the scent. Hey Kashinath, what's up? You know what, Kashinath, you should try this workshop that I'm doing. All three of you all actually. The trio has arrived. Indeed, it has. So like I was saying, that the three of you need to do this workshop. And it's not a request, it is a demand. Because for this, anyone can do it, regardless of, the skill level you have or the amount of experience. This is going to be super simple, but super cool as well. Okay. Oh, we have quite a few people who joined all at once. Okay. Now I'll just check for any light corners and then just spread whatever remaining paint I have. I'll just put a little bit of water and then spread this out. I want it to be dark. So just so you know, it is going to get a little bit sticky since this paint is quite thick. You can see the paper moving entirely. I'm trying my best to hold it down as well without getting any paint, or by getting some minimal amount of paint on my hand. Okay, there you go. This should be plenty. See, it's so sticky, I can just move this with my brush as well. And whatever light you see here, it's just the reflection of the light onto this wet paint. You don't have enough paint and leaves. Well, guess what? You have a lot of trees down. You can just go and pick some leaves. And as for paints, I think whatever you have should be about enough. If you just work on a smaller scale, you can take half the size and work on it. And in Kuwait you have a lot of small leaves, so you don't need to work on a big sized sheet of paper. Okay, now that we've darkened this, just make sure that each and every part is covered. Let's look at all the edges. Okay, now I'm going to take some Phthalo turquoise. Now just put it down here. I've got butterfingers today. You know, I think I'll take a little bit more. Okay, now I will use my smaller brush. I don't need such a big one now. I'm going to switch back to this about 1/2 inch brush. And I will start off, you can see I have the leaves here. So basically the entire concept of this is pretty simple. I've never seen this kind of art, only heard of it. Well, today is a lucky day. You're gonna get to see this kind of art as well. So I will take some white paint also. Like that. Okay. Now I know a lot of you are just waiting for me to start. Like, my God, when is this guy gonna start? Now I'm about to start. So I'll take some white, a little bit of white. I don't need too much also. And I'm going to, you know what, I'll just move this a bit to the side. Yeah. Just a little bit of white, and I'll mix this blue entirely in it. Because we just need it slightly lightened up, not too much. Okay, so I think about this much should most definitely be enough. And then we'll search for the part which has, you know, the veins sort of sticking out. And we will start by painting it in, just like this. Now, just so you know, your hands are going to get dirty. Okay, and I will put this one down like that, lay it flat, and then lift it up. Okay, that doesn't seem to be dark enough, light enough, so I'll take a bit more white. Since we have quite a lot of blue, let me just put a dot of this. Okay, that seems to be the perfect amount. I'll paint this leaf. Sorry if I went out of screen. Okay, and I'll press it down nicely and then lift it up. It's okay if the entire impression doesn't come. There you go. We need to start with a pretty dark color. So even if it's barely visible for you, You know, it's quite visible for me, so I'll just increase the brightness a little bit. I hope that's not a lot. Okay, you know what, 1 second. I'll reduce this light so it's not too much of a glare. I might be a bit dark. Okay, over here. Okay, that's about the best I can offer for now. So I'll take this color again, just like this. Make sure I spread it around nicely. Yeah. And then I will put this down, press it, and put this there. Now I know this can get people a little bit impatient because it is, I wouldn't say a lengthy process, but it does take a bit of time and repetition. But for those of you who are going to stay all throughout of it, I appreciate it. And for those of you who maybe want to come back a little sometime ahead when I'm maybe halfway through, sure, that also is fine. Very much understandable. Because there are times that I look at art videos and I sometimes skip in between. So honestly, you're not the only one. Yeah, there you go, just like this. Okay. So we will add a little, we'll just spread this out a little bit more so it's covering up a little more surface area. Like this. A little bit there. Now it's best to find the crispiest leaves if possible. Okay, now what I'll do is I'll take a little bit of a lighter color. So I'll add more white into this. And mix it well so you don't have enough supplies. I am using acrylic paints in case you're wondering. Okay, if you don't if you don't have enough supplies, that's all right. But if and when you can get more supplies, do try this out. Yeah, just like that. Now I'll switch to another leaf, which, yeah, this one seems a bit better. So here I'm just painting this leaf. We don't want the paint too thick also. Just enough to flatten it out. Okay, like that. We'll keep the layer of paint as thin as possible, because if the paint is too thick, you'll end up getting blobs. And you can overlap them as well. You don't have to, stick to just spreading them out and trying to fill in the gaps. That was a joke. You don't have to do it. I just thought you had the materials at home, hence why I said that. If you don't have the materials, it's fine. Oh, there you go. This is a good impression. Okay, so now I'm just taking whatever leftover paint I have on my brush and I'm just spreading this out. Put a little bit in this corner, over here. There you go. Now from this angle it might be a bit, what do you say? There's a lot of reflection. Now let me try turning it. There you go. There you can see how it is. So over here you can't really make out, but when I tilt it, you can see quite the difference. Okay, then I'll put some in the middle also, just like this. Relax. It's nothing too serious. Okay. And then I will put this down here. So while we are trying to fill in the gaps, we can overlap them. And like I said, the crispier your leaf is, the better your impressions are going to turn out. Okay, and then I'll lift it up. So there you can see we're having a little bit more. And I bought different sizes of leaves so that it doesn't look too clustered also. So I'll start with one half and then do the other. Yeah, there you go. Okay, and then I'll start lighting this color up even more. Then take another leaf of a different size. This one's slightly smaller. But if you see the smaller ones, they tend to fold up quite a bit. So I will just paint this part down like that. And then once you paint it entirely, right, with the edge of your brush, you can just remove any excess paint that is there. Then I will put it here like that. Then lift this up. Yeah, there you go, much better. Oh, lovely, look at that. So if you want, you can stick to one color, or you can use two different colors, or maybe you can make your own color combination with this. Okay, so I'll just do 2-3 more and then I'll lift the paper up so you can see the type of impression we're getting. You can take some leaves out of the paper as well, like that. And now when I lift it up, there you can see how we're starting to create that sort of depth in it. Now I'm just keeping this leaf on my palette so it's a bit easier to really cover this part up. And we'll try not to overdo it also, because we need some of the darker impressions in this. Okay, then I'll take a bit more white. So let me just show you here. And I will mix it in this. And we'll keep the paint thick. We don't want too much. Yeah, we don't want too much of water in it. And then here I will put this part down. I hope this one gives a really good one since it's in the center. And then I will lift it. Oh, lovely. Look at that. So I'll do the same again. Now this is a lighter tone. I'll put this down here. So I'll put few of the lighter ones towards the outside and focus more onto the center. Now these were the only leaves that I could find, close by. But if at all you get a chance of getting, leaves with much more thicker veins, you could say, that will be a lot better, since the impressions will come out much more clearly. Like this, and then lift it up. There you go, like that. Also, Kashinath and Megha and Maithili, if you do not have the materials, it is entirely okay. I was just pulling your leg. There you go. So for the lighter colors, we'll focus a little bit more onto the center. Not too much, just about enough. So you can think of it as a radial glow. Radial in the sense from the middle it's light and then it goes dark. Yeah, just like that. So if it looks like I'm doing something different, outside of the camera, I'm just painting the leaf with my palette as the base. Okay, now we can add just a few more colors or a few more tones. I'll put this over here. The more you overlap it with the other leaves, the better it's going to look. Oh, lovely. Okay, now I will take the smallest leaf I have and I will add a lot more white in this. I'll put a little bit of water in it since this paint is kind of drying out. Okay, maybe I'll lighten this up a little bit more. Now I want to show you exactly how this has turned out, like up until now, but I feel like that would ruin the surprise at the very end. So just hold on a little bit. Over here, I'll put this down. Just like that. Make sure make sure you press it down nicely. Then repaint it over here. Okay, and then I'll paint this side as well. Okay, now we're almost done. One second. Just like this. And then I will put this down here. Okay, now when I lift it up, that you can see all the impressions, coming together. So let me try showing it to you in the front camera. One second. Yeah. So there you go, something like this. Now for this one, I didn't cover up much of, the sides over here. But what you can do is with the darker colors like these over here, you can fill out the areas a little bit more, keep a few gaps in between for the background, and then, pile up the layers after layer after layer. And then you'll get this nice, very in-depth, this deep kind of feeling in this painting. So yeah, that's all for this workshop. Super simple, super quick. I hope you enjoyed it as well. And you can do it at your house and very minimal materials required. So thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you all soon. Take care and bye-bye.